Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. Uh, Hello, welcome. Um, this is a AA meeting. Please, no rude comments, no bullying, no judgment. If you cannot be nice, then just don't be here. Like I said, it's an AA meeting, not a place for rude comments and judgment and any of that sort of stuff. Negativity can go elsewhere. This is not the place for it. Please have respect for each other and greet each other if you would like to. I cannot delete the let's get that light back. I cannot delete the comments, so your comments will be uploaded. So if you wish to not be known that you're here, just hit the thumbs up and that'll be great. Otherwise, if you're not worried about it, then if you're in comments if you're here in the chat, I will say your name, because it will be uploaded anyways. So, yeah. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday morning. Me, I am still recuperating from work on Thursday. Scrubbing 2 bathrooms and a stove was hard work to do, but it got me away from home and spending time with my parents. So it's a plus. My parents are older and they are not able to do a lot of bending and fast movement. So I take care of the chores for them. I go up there on Thursdays and it's nice to be able to see my parents and be the only one there. So if you're new here, whatever that word was, if you're new here, welcome. AA meetings are for everyone. You don't have to be just quitting alcohol. You can use AA for everyday living. So if you learn something and it becomes a great thing for you to use, that's great. So, yeah, AA helps a lot with a lot of things. So, I will be starting the book after the Serenity Prayer. I'm not sponsored or affiliated by this company. Yes, positive comments only. Yes. So, those of you that are just now watching, I have been sober for 8 years and 5 months. 8 years and 5 months. And I have been around the alcohol. I don't expect other people to not drink while I'm around. I can't make that decision for other people. So if they choose to drink, that's them. So, but, Yeah, I'm not sponsored by AA in any way. I do not receive money from any source for my AA meetings. My adventures I do, but not here. So, this is free meetings. All I do is read the book and tell you parts of my story that relates to the book and how things have helped me and things that I do on a daily basis to always remember to be kind and don't be judgmental. People have a story and not everyone's is the same, but I want people to feel safe to be here and share their story if they choose to. And if not, I completely understand because sometimes it's not easy to share certain things of your life. And maybe for you, that is this. So, but for me, this helps me to remember why I need to stay sober. And I'm praying that it helps someone else, even if it's only just one person. So that's my goal. That is my goal. It's my dream to reach as many people as I can. To share that life being sober is so worth it in every way. The bad days, the happy days, the sad days. It's worth it. So, of course, the dog dropped his ball. Okay, so let's get started with the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I gotta throw the ball for the dog. Ah! Okay, so, are you done now? Thank you. We are on page. I also put this in the description for any of you that may have a book. So we are on page 184, Tradition 12, in the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions book. First, I will read the steps, and yes, I need to wear glasses, but not for reading. So when I gotta read something, I gotta take glasses off because otherwise it's all fuzzy. It's a new thing for me. I have just now started wearing glasses about 3 weeks ago, and so I'm still trying to get used to it. But yeah, and I don't need them to read, just to see far away. All right. Step 1. We admitted to God we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Making a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure themselves or others. 10. Continued to take personal inventory of ourselves and when wrong, admitted we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Tradition 12. This is the last tradition in this book, and then we will be starting on the big book. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. The spiritual substance of anonymity is sacrifice. Because AA 12 tradition repeatedly asks us to give up personal desires for the common good, we realize that the sacrificial spirit, well symbolized by anonymity, is the foundation of them all. It is AA's proved willingness to make these sacrifices that give people their high confidence in our future. But in the beginning, anonymity was not born of confidence. It was the child of our early fears, or, our first nameless group of alcoholics were secret societies. New prospects could find us only through a few trusted friends. The bare hint of publicity, even for our work, shocked us. Though ex-drinkers, we still thought we had to hide from public distrust and contempt. When the Big Book appeared in 1939, we called it Alcoholics Anonymous. Its foreword made this revealing statement. It is important that we remain anonymous because we are too few at present to handle the overwhelming number of personal appeals which may result from this publication. Being mostly business or professional folks, we could not well carry on our occupation in such an event. Between these lines, it is easy to read our fear that large number of incoming people might break our anonymity wide open. As the AA group multiplied, so did anonymity problems. Enthusiastic over the spectacular recovery of a brother alcoholic, we'd sometimes discuss these intimate and harrowing aspects of his case, meant for his sponsor's ear alone. The aggrieved victim would then rightly declare that his trust had been broken. When such story got into circulation outside of AA, the loss of confidence in our anonymity promise was severe. It frequently turned people from us. Clearly, every AA member's name and story, too, had to be confidential if he wished. This was our first lesson in this particular application of anonymity. With characteristic intemperance, however, some of our newcomers cared not at all for secrecy. They wanted to shout AA from the housetops, and did. Alcoholics barely dry rushed about, bright-eyed, button-holding anyone who would listen to their story. Others hurried to place themselves before microphones and cameras. Sometimes they got distressingly drunk and let their groups down with a bang. They had changed from AA members into AA show-offs. The phenomenon of contrast really set us thinking squarely before us with the question, okay, how anonymous should an AA member be? Our growth made it plain that we couldn't be a secret society, but it was equally plain that we couldn't be a vaudeville circuit either. The charting of a safe path between these extremes took a long time. As a rule, the average newcomer wanted his family to know immediately that he was trying to do, or what he was trying to do. He also wanted to tell others who had tried to help him. His doctor, his minister, and close friends. As he gained confidence, he felt it right to explain his new way of life to his employer and business associates. When opportunities to be helpful came along, he found he could talk easily about AA to almost anyone. These quiet disclosures helped him to lose his fear of the alcoholic stigma and spread the news of AA existence in his community. Many a new man and woman came to AA because of such conversations. Though not in the strict letter of anonymity, such communications were well within its spirit. But it became apparent that the word-of-mouth method was too limited. Our work as such needed to be publicized. The AA groups would have to reach quickly as many despairing alcoholics as they could. Consequently, many groups began to hold meetings which were open to interested friends and the public, so that the average citizen could see for himself just what AA was all about. The response to these meetings was warmly sympathetic. Soon, groups began to receive requests for AA speakers to appear before civic organizations, church groups, lost my spot, and medical societies. Civic Okay. Provided anonymity was maintained on these platforms, and reporters present were cautioned against the use of names or pictures. The result was fine. Then came our first few excursions into major publicity, which was breathtaking. Cleveland Plain Dealer articles about us ran that town membership for a few into 100 overnight. The news stories of Mr. Rockefeller's dinner for Alcoholics Anonymous helped double our total membership in a year's time. Jack Alexander's famous Saturday Evening Post piece made AA a national institution. Such tributes as these brought opportunities for still more recognition. Other newspapers and magazines wanted AA stories. Film companies wanted to photograph us. Radio and finally television besieged us with requests for appearance. What should we do? As this tide offering top public approval swept in, we realized that it could do us incalculable good or great harm. Everything would depend upon how it was channeled. We simply couldn't afford to take the chance of letting self-appointed members present themselves as meshachs representing AA before the whole public. The promoter instinct in us might be our undoing. If one public if one public if one publicly got drunk or was lured into using AA's name for his own purposes, the damage might be irreparable. At this altitude, press, radio, films, and television anonymity, 100% anonymity, was the only possible answer. Here, principles would have to come before personalities without exception. These experiences taught us that anonymity is real humility at work. It is an all-pervading spiritual quality which today keynotes AA life everywhere. Moved by the spirit of anonymity, we try to give up our natural desire for personal distinction as AA members, both among fellow alcoholics and before the general public. As we lay aside these very human aspirations, we believe that each of us takes part in the weaving of a protective mantle which covers our whole society and under which we may grow and work into unity. We are sure that humility expressed by anonymity is the greatest safeguard that Alcoholics Anonymous can ever have. And that is the end of the 12 steps and traditions. So, this is why I always say that if you don't want people to know that you are recovering or doing your recovering, just starting or still doing or what have you, I don't want to say your name or have you type in chat or whatever to out you here. So that is completely a thing that I believe is great in the aspect that not everyone wants everyone to know that they are a recovering alcoholic or recovering from whatever. And I do shout the AA name over rooftops, but it's only because it's helped me so much. And I don't want to have anyone to come here and feel unsafe and like that you're going to be outed. This is a safe place for people to come and listen, read along, listen to my story, listen to my friends' stories that come up on panel with me. We all have similar issues with the alcohol or whatever else it is. So my purpose is to reach the alcoholics who still suffer and who are still staying sober all alike. And I don't know if it's helping many people, if it's helping one. But I do know that it's helping me. And for me, my sobriety is the most important part of my life. That's over everything. That is over everyone. Because if I don't have my sobriety, I won't have them. And if I don't stick on my path that I have been on for 8 years and 5 months, then I'm just going to go back to the bottom of that bottle, because that's exactly where you go. You don't start off slow. You don't go and think, oh, I'm just going to have one drink. Because I did that once. I went that route. I'd been sober for a year. And then I was like, oh, I'm just going to try one of these. And so I drank it. And guess what? I didn't stop. For a while. A long while. I think it was probably about a year and a half that I drank on a daily basis, except for maybe a day here and a day there. I'm not proud of that, but I do know from that experience that that is what will happen to me if I decided to step out on my sobriety. And for me, I am not willing to lose my family, my friends, my home, my future. I'm not willing to lose it for alcohol. My life is worth more than that alcohol. Any day, every day. And anonymity is what you want it to be. If you want to not have your name put out there, or you don't feel comfortable with sharing your story, that's fine. I completely understand. I was there. I was there for a while. And my sponsor, I was upset at this time when she did this to me, but I am so thankful she did this. She signed up to do a speaker meeting, and she had me as the 15-minute speaker. And I hadn't even really been telling my story very much in the meetings. But when I got up there and I was telling people part of my story, I realized that this is something I'm proud of. This is something that I am accomplishing on a daily basis. This is a daily thing. I use my steps every single day in everything that I do. And it made me more proud of where I am, who I am, and know that I do have a great gift that I can share that I got for free. So, y'all, this is sharing my story here is a major step for me. I had thought about it when I first started my channel. I had thought about telling my story, doing a meeting, but I wasn't sure what exactly I would do or how I would do this. But I love sharing my story because it reminds me of where I came from and how much I have done for the better since then. Since that last drink, I am a better person. I'm an honest person. I love with my whole heart. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not trying to fool somebody that, oh no, I'm not going to get in a drink every day, Because when you're doing that, you're not fooling anybody. You're only fooling yourself. Because I thought for sure nobody knew. Oh, everybody knew. Everybody knew. And they do know. They can tell just by what you're doing, how you're acting. If you're acting strangely, which more than likely when you're drinking, you're acting very strange. Uh, it is. I'm just glad that I came from there, and I've come a long way, and I don't want to go back. I've seen a lot of people fall back, and it's sad because they don't always get to come back out. And there's some sufferers that don't ever get off of it. It's a sad thing when they don't choose the sobriety path because for one thing, I have experienced a lot of things being sober, and not all of it's been happy. Been a lot of sad things. There's been a lot of things that made me mad or made me upset. But I didn't or haven't gone back to drinking because of any of it. Which, when I was drinking, that would be an excuse to drink. Not anymore. This and coffee and water is all I drink. Cheers to sobriety. It's a great life. The best life to live. Seeing life through clear eyes. Not having that alcohol goggles on. I don't miss falling down. I don't miss acting stupid. I don't miss being mean. I don't miss any of the past. And, my biggest thing that I have gotten to celebrate besides my sobriety, my sister's sobriety. And then my boys graduated. They both graduated a year apart. They were adults, but they still graduated. My oldest got his GED, and then my youngest got his diploma and certificates. Um, so I'm very proud of my children. And I'm very proud of me, and I'm proud of you for making it this far and even just listening. Just know that there's always someone that you can talk to. If you feel like you're ready to quit drinking, please contact your local AA. Someone will answer. That's how I got my sponsor. I had a friend invite me to an AA meeting, and I wanted to know when the next meeting was, so I started calling numbers, because when I started, I got a list of numbers of all the females that were in the group, and I called a few of them, and the only one that answered became my sponsor, and now I have two. One of them, which I don't have to say anything in a certain way. I text her something and she knows that something's wrong just by how I text her. She's been sober for a very long time. I miss her so much. And I have 2 or 3 sponsees. They're still sober. One is 5 years and one is almost 8 years. So I'm very proud of them. So thumbs up if you're here. I hope you find these meetings helpful. And if you have questions about how to get a book, this is the information. You can get them from your local AA meeting. They are everywhere, literally everywhere. Google it. You will find an AA meeting. They may have a book that they can give you. I have 2 books. I have 12 Steps and 12 Traditions and the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, which we will start on Tuesday, and we will be reading let's go to I don't want to read all the front of it because maybe I should. Anyways, but we will start on the big book next. I've read them a couple of times, at least. Well, in a group. So in the group that I go to, I haven't gone to a meeting for quite a while. I need to get back into going to one. So hopefully I'll be able to start doing that pretty soon. Yes, Bill's story. We will start off on Bill's story. So, if you want a book, check your local AA. There should be a meeting everywhere. Just Google it, AA meeting, and it should bring up something. You can get the big book, the little book, anything you want pretty much from Amazon. I'm not sponsored or affiliated or employed by them anymore. So you can get them there. Also, if you want to just check one out, your local libraries should have them. So yeah, I have given away 2 of the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, and I think 2 of the big books. So my sponsor, if I give one away, I contact my sponsor and I'm like, hey, I need another book. I just gave mine away. This person needs it more than me. And so, and that's how I also help is, if someone needs information for getting a book or whatever, and I have mine, I will offer mine to them. That's just how I am. I am willing to share my AA with everyone and share my story with everyone because eventually it will help someone. So anyways, I am going to go ahead and end this meeting for today. And I hope everyone has a wonderful Saturday and a great rest of the weekend. I will see you guys on Tuesday. I love you guys, and let's say our serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Love y'all. Have a good one.